Satnam, aloha. Welcome to the live stream. And I don't even know if I can apologize, right? Life happened, but we're on here now. And the irony is that the lunar eclipse is in the shadow of impatience, which has to do with time. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to tune in with the Adi mantra, the Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, because there's going to be a Kundalini Yoga meditation. And so remember, to the people, that when you're tuning in with Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, you're actually tuning into your own inner teacher, your own inner wisdom, right? You're not really tuning into something outside of you, okay? Because I know a lot of people are getting paranoid and suspicious about that. Okay, so I just want to let you know that it's empowering. Okay, so it's Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So if you aren't familiar with the mantra, that's okay. It's just about a longing in your heart to be with your soul, to be with your higher self, to be with your own inner teacher. Okay, so rub your palms together and you feel the heat between them. Bring your hands into prayer pose at your heart center and feel your feet on the ground if you're sitting in a chair. And begin breathing long and deep only through the nostrils. So as you inhale, you're going to inhale deep into the belly and then exhaling all the air out through the nostrils. Relaxing your facial muscles, relaxing your neck muscles, relaxing your shoulders, and especially relaxing your belly. And just take a moment to set your intention to receive all this beautiful energy that's coming to us through this lunar eclipse for our evolution and our healing. So just intending to be with those higher frequencies. And just forget about the world for a moment and just be with yourself. So keep slowing down the breath until your mind slows down. And inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale to the base of the spine. Exhale. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and press your palms together and bring your focus to your third eye, the point between your brows, and intentionally channel the energy up to the third eye. And exhale and relax your hands down. Okay, just want to look at. Okay, yay! I can see everybody here is commenting. So comment, and you can put where you're logging in from. We got South Africa. I think you're still in the UK, eh, Lily? And then Alexis is, of course, in Santa Fe. Okay. I love that. I know I was getting everything together and it was like I'm so in this shadow right now about time. Okay, so I want to share the chart with you guys. And how am I going to do that again? Okay. Okay. So, oh, there we go. There we go. So I'll put it down here. That's the chart there. Okay, you can see the whole thing, it looks like. Okay. So remember that this is the human design chart. So I always put a link in the information box so that you can click and get your free chart and kind of follow along. But this is the collective, right? It's the collective chart at the exact point of the eclipse. Okay. So you can see that the sun is the 35 and then the earth is the 5. And then I'm going to look at the moon is the 5, right? So that's what an eclipse is. It's like an opposition. It's like a full moon on steroids, right? And then I'm going to look at the nodes of the moon too. So you can see the 10 and the 15 are the nodes of the moon. And this is the karmic axis that we're in. It's kind of the lessons that we're in right now as a humanity. So with the 5, right? With this 5, with the moon is in the 5 right there, the 5.5. So and it's interesting too. It's like it's connected to the north node of the moon. You see that little? It's supposed to be like a horseshoe. It's usually a horseshoe for astrology, right? So look down here. You got a channel. See, you got the 5 and the 15. So the 15 is the north node. That's where we're headed, right? That's where the program is heading us, right? For a higher purpose, our evolution. Okay. And then there's the 5 again, right? So this is important, right? So the north node is on this 15 and then the 5, and this is making a channel. And this is the channel of being in the flow, right? It's being in the flow, not pushing the river. So with the Aquarian age, we need to remember that we're becoming more and more into the present moment. You hear a lot about this on the past, just be in the present, just be in the now. Well, being in the present moment is a real thing. And this is where we're coming more into our eternal self, right? Our eternal self, which is timeless. And that's what this shadow hexagram gene key is all about, is timelessness. That's its own ideas and expectations of where you should be in your life, how much money you should be making, how the world should be going, right? All the ideas, and they're just on expectations. And meanwhile, there's this beautiful flow of energy that's guiding us. And it can feel like doom and gloom. This is the shadow, right, of this impatience. It can make us pessimistic, like things will never ever change. So you don't want to go there, right? This is all about the unfoldment. Right, we're evolving into this great age of Aquarius, the Sat Yug, right? The age of truth, right? Truth is nobody can fight the truth, right? The truth is coming out. We're seeing it day by day. These hidden shadows are coming out, and it can be shocking for people because of, oh my God, there's so much racism right now, and there's so much this and that. There's always been this. We're just seeing it, right? We're seeing it very, very clearly. And one thing is the technology, right? Everybody is a journalist, so it's coming into the light so that we can see it, right? And as light workers, everybody's a light worker. I don't know. I don't necessarily like that term, but I don't know what else to call us, right? The people standing, the light bearers, standing for the truth. We've got to not look away. It's so tempting. It's like, oh, and the new age community teaches that, right? This like spiritual bypass. Let's be with the unicorns and the rainbows. And it's like, no, we've got to be sober, right? Looking soberly with our hearts about what's going on in the world, right? And the greater purpose is like to really bring us all into our hearts and our compassion, right? Who can see this suffering on the computer and the news and Twitter and stuff and like look away, right? It's no. Every time I watch the news, I'm crying, honestly, right? I'm crying for the suffering, and this is our work: is to really be compassionate, right, with one another, because we're in this great play, right, of consciousness right now as truth comes in. And remember, Jupiter's going to be going into Aquarius by the end of the year. So this is the power grab, right? The power grab by this Piscean dark consciousness trying to keep control. And it's not, they're not, right? It's going to be impossible. Astrology tells us the complete opposite. Okay, so this channel is showing us that we're to embrace this flow, right? And that time is an illusion. It's really an illusion. And have you ever had this experience? I've had this myself with the to-do lists, right? This is like the shadow of impatience, having your to-do list, and I'm going to do all this, right? And then life happens, right? Life happens, and it's like maybe you ticked off one or two things, and it can bring up this impatience, right? Time's running out. I got to get all this stuff done. And it's all coming from the mind, right? It's all coming from the mind. And then I'll have days where, like, I throw the to-do list away and I just go with the flow, right? I go with the flow with where's the energy right now? Where's the energy for me right now? And then at the end of the day, I start listing everything I got done, and it's like 2 pages long. And the day felt so spacious, right? So spacious and full. That's where we want to be, right? It's a very feminine approach to life. Are people getting that? Have you had that experience where you don't fight the river, right? You don't fight the river. You just go with the flow and what's called for. And this is about trusting life. So the other thing that's really interesting is I hope you watch the Fall of the Empire video to just give you more context about what's going on, right? This is about cycles. It's okay. There's no time. There's cycles, and we're in a cycle of transformation right now, and we're seeing part of this is this empire, right? Neptune and Pisces collapsing and falling. So a new consciousness can come up, and no, it's not going to be the new world order. That's like the old consciousness. Something new that's going to emerge from this, right? But it takes each one of us to really like get into that space of the visionary, right? Looking into the future, not just your lifespan, 7 generations. That's what the indigenous people tell us, right? We have to look. This is true leadership. Is you're not looking at your my political term. You're looking not just you, not your children, your grandchildren, but 7 generations in the future. And that's how we have to start making our choices. So I think I said that in one of my videos, that we'll start to see the true leaders will start to emerge, right? And they won't be coming, they'll be reluctant. Like a true leader is always cornered. They don't want to be a leader, right? But they're the true leaders because they're not grabbing for power, right? They're not doing it for power. It's about a service, serving humanity. So I briefly went through some of the things in the chart of the US, right? Because the prophecy is they're the leaders that will be leading us into this new age of Aquarius. And we know anything that happens in the US, it affects the world on a profound level. So look at this 15, right? Remember I mentioned the north node of the moon, the karmic axis where we're going is the 15. And look, they've got the 15 in their chart, and look where it is. It's in Venus. That's value. So the north node of the moon is right on their Venus, right? So Venus is our values, what we value. And are we not having a deep reflection, and Venus is in retrograde, a deep reflection on what we value, right? We've been taken away from this hamster wheel of work and then chasing carrots and materialism and consumerism and all that stuff. And now people are reflecting, hey, I didn't need to spend all that money going out for dinners and going to my Starbucks and getting my lattes and stuff. Oh, I'm able to really live simply and I enjoy it. Like I'm home cooking. I love hearing those stories. Like families are coming together and cooking together and right? There's a lot of silver linings in this, and we're not going to be the same, right? When things start speeding up again, we're not going to be the same. Our values are shifting, and then the Venus is also about money, right? Money and self value, net value, they say, right? Because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So I find that really interesting. Okay, so I want to just scoot over to how I like to do the chart with the cards, and then the pictures. Okay. Okay. Here we go here. There we go. Okay. My camera still has not arrived, but I hope everybody can see this okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring my microphone here. So how I like to do cards is I don't do them on the fly. I kind of like a little bit of time to meditate, or not time. I want to really eliminate that word time out of my vocabulary. It's really frequency, right? We want to move out of time into frequency. Okay. So there's the sun position here. You can see that. There we go. There we go. So there's the gene key hexagram right here, and it's called adventure. I don't want to. Okay, I'm not going to fix that. It's not in the flow. Okay, so adventure, that's the 35, and that's in the sun position. Okay, and this shadow is the shadow of hunger, right? So the sun's coming at the moon, right? It's illuminating the moon. The full moon is being illuminated, and the moon is kind of the mystery. The moon is what's hidden from us, and that's why these lunar eclipses are so powerful, because there's going to be an I see it, right? I can see this hidden shadow. I can see this obstacle that's been blocking me. So what's coming through, this is called the shadow of hunger. And this is about being hungry for new experiences and how it affects you. And maybe you can tell me in the comments, is it makes you feel low, right? Shadow frequency actually has an influence on how we feel, like our energy levels. So this is like the feeling low, and it's connected to serotonin. You know, the feel good, that feel good chemical, serotonin. That's what the big pharma is trying to manipulate, is our serotonin levels. But naturally, we have serotonin when we start to live in the frequency of love. Okay, so this is like feeling bored in your life, right? It's also about you know what, there's something outside of me that's going to make me feel better. So right, so it can be behind addictions, like, you know, like eating disorders, things like that, drugs, alcohol, but looking for something outside of yourself, right, for fulfillment. And we know that the spiritual truth, right, is that what we're looking for is actually where we're looking from. You know, it's from inside each one of us. So the great adventure, right, is to be that kind of an emotional adventure. It's about going inside. It's like the inner astronaut. You know, that's the new frontier, is consciousness. So that's what this is telling us here in the sun position. And this shadow is about chasing. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. And chasing outside, and that's a fool's game. So filling your it's Gemini, right? Filling your life with activities, thinking that's going to fulfill you. Okay. And it also pulls you out of your own natural rhythms, right out of your natural rhythms. Because sometimes it's the energy is for resting and relaxing, reading. Sometimes the energy is for a lot of activity. But but as you become more and more self-aware, for the Aquarian age, you're going to realize that and not fight the river. You know, it's exhausting to fight the river. And have you ever done anything where you've done something that's you forced something to happen and you're out of your own rhythm, right? You pay the price, and more will pay the price. Especially, you know, the universe is very forgiving when you don't know, right? You're, but when you start realizing, oh, I'm consciously pushing the river now, you pay the price. The consequences are a lot higher. Okay. So you want to look at like, how is hunger, the shadow of hunger, how am I victimized by this? How am I trying to fill my life up with things, right? Because that's the mind. The mind's bored with life. Life's very boring to the mind. Okay, and then the tarot card is the 9. So that all nines are like completion phases, right? So it's the 9 of Wands, but it's upside down. So this is struggling, like feeling like you're struggling towards your goals, like nothing's happening, wanting to give up, right? It's like one thing after another, setback after setback. And then, you know, you can feel like, oh, I'm doing so much, but I'm lacking any support from anybody around me. It's like I just want to give up. I want to give up. I want to give up. Plus, you got this energy of, right, feeling low. And so this is telling you to draw upon your inner resources, not looking outside. Like, go to your own inner strength, go to your soul, right? So that's like to go inside. And then we've got the lunar eclipse, which is always big change. So whatever is happening today, it's not just today, but the next couple days are going to impact you for the next 6 months. And this is for us as a collective too. So major, major change. Eclipse of spring, major, major change. And it's in, right, the moon and the earth are there. And it's the gift of patience. Look at that guy. I just feel so patient looking at him. Patience. And then the shadow of impatience. And then the city of timelessness. So moving out of time, right? Moving out of feeling victimized by time. It's funny too, you know, not funny, haha, but funny, strange. When you really go deeper into this trust of life, and you're like, oh, I have to meet my friend today, but I'm feeling really low today, and I feel like I just want to spend time alone or right out in nature. And then you let your friend know, and then your friend is like, oh, I was going to just text you. I was feeling, I double booked something or something, right? It all works out when you're in truth, right? With your own rhythms. Because remember, we're all connected. So impatience is like it's about the fear of there's not enough time, time's running out, distrusting your own natural rhythms, feeling victimized by someone else's impatience, right? Because we can act, right? Act out of our own rhythms when somebody is coming at us super impatient. And remember that impatience, like I said, is rooted in the mind, right? It has nothing to do with the natural rhythms. And you can get pessimistic when you're in the shadow of impatience, like nothing will ever change, and then trying to force the natural rhythms right now. So it's connected to the Empress, which I found really, really interesting. The people know that the tarot, the Empress, is all about the Earth, Mother Earth, and that's what this is showing us, right? It's our connection to Mother Earth, but it's reversed. So what does that mean? Whenever it's reversed, it's like a retrograde planet, right? It's about going within and being patient with yourself, right? Being patient with yourself and your own growth and evolution. We all grow at our own time, and there's a time for everything. There's a cycle for everything. So this is about bringing more self-love, right, into your life, making self-love a priority, nurturing yourself, being a mother to yourself because it's connected to motherhood. So being your own mother, and it can also reversed can bring up body issue stuff because remember our body is made up of the same elements as the earth, right? We're connected to the earth. So this is also a message to start going outside in nature, making time for nature, because right now, if you've been following the agenda of these dark forces trying to take over, right? The ancient battle of light and dark. It's all about bringing us away from this, right? Bringing humanity away from this because this is our power, right? To take us away from our natural self and make us more into the transhumanism movement, right? More like robots, more artificial intelligence, all that stuff. And this is our power, right? Is nature, to stay connected to nature. And I really feel for the people that are in big cities. I hope everybody has access to nature, you know? And if you don't, like, get a plant, right? Get yourself a plant, get yourself a pet, right? Something that connects you back to what's real, right? The technology and the computers and social, right? And social platforms and stuff, it's not real. What's real is like what you see in front of you, the people in front of you, right? So that's that. That's a good message for everybody. And then to break you out of time, right? This lunar eclipse is to break you out of time and to get you back into your own natural rhythms. And even camping, have you noticed with camping? It's really amazing to watch people, right? People, I'm a big camper. Watching people come in and they're all like in their minds and, on their phones and, right, really like extroverted, all the energies outside. And I just close my eyes and it's like, oh, Mother Nature's going to take care of these people, right? And within hours, they just fall into this rhythm, the rhythm of the earth. You can't, Mother Earth's going to win, right? That's our true mother. And then, right, the sun goes down, everybody's asleep and quiet, you know? Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the nodes of the moon right here. And so that's the south node. And that's what we're letting go of, right? The south node is about what we can be obsessed, right? The south node can make us obsessed with certain things, but we're to let go, or the evolutionary process is like to let go of this and move towards more to the north node, okay? And the south node is in the 10, and the shadow is self-obsession. It's called self-obsession. And this is selfish, but also remember on the flip side, selfishness is also something that you don't really think about often, is when you deny your own self. That's also selfishness. It's another aspect of the shadow. Like it's codependency, right? Like totally, I'm focused on everybody else and their needs, and I'm denying my own needs. That's also this shadow pattern. Or it's all about me. Me. Okay, so we're to let go of this self-obsession for the South Node. And then the Page of Wands, this is all about the ideas, like, right, the inspirations, but it's going to be negative because it's in the South Node position. So overly focused on yourself, overly focused on other people in your life, right? You want to let go of this. And remember, we're moving. Let's wait for this truck to leave. For the Aquarian age, we're moving from the language of me to the language of we. right? It's another reason we need to let go of this self-obsession. Not that you don't nurture yourself, right? But you start to, it's about expanding your mind. It's like all my actions, even my thoughts and my emotions and my feelings have an impact on the rest of the world, right? So it's like we've got to get out of this self obsession, and then we're moving into this. This is beautiful. This is very connected to the earth too. This one, it's the 15. This is the north node. Okay. And it's the shadow of dullness. So it really fits with that. The bored, right? I'm bored with life. Things aren't working fast enough. Not trusting nature. And this is connected to the Schumann resonance. You know the heartbeat of the earth? Have you heard of that? The heartbeat of the earth? That's the Schumann resonance. And the 5G interferes with the Schumann resonance. The scientists have already discovered this. And this is what connects us to the earth. It's the heartbeat of the earth. And it's shifting and changing naturally, right? As we travel closer and closer to the central um, the galactic center. It's changing, so that means we have to shift and change. And this is about slowing down, right? So slowing down, going into the heartbeat of the earth, really feeling that. And look at that, it makes you more magnetic, right? Magnetism, so that you attract everything that you need to you. You do that anyway, but you'll become more and more powerful, right, as a manifester with that magnetism. So the slowing down is very, very key. And then it makes you more intelligent because you're tapping into a natural, innate intelligence that's already inside you. You're not in the mind, right? Because the mind is all about, right, the past. The mind's all about the past. The mind has no new ideas, but your intuition does, right? So it's slowing down. And then with the Knight of Cups, right? This is about emotions. And I love, because most of the knights in the tarot, they're always on the move, right? But the Knight of Cups, this is the romantic, right? The romance. It's not just about um, relationships between people. This is like embracing the romance of life, right? And what does that mean? Beauty. It's embracing the beauty of life. It's a very emotional, embracing your idealism. Like, what do you want for the world? Like, what do you visualize from the world for the world? And don't go into like, well, I don't want a police state, right? That just feeds that energy. It's like, what do you see? What do you want? Right? What comes from your soul, right? And then aligning yourself with this ideal. And the thing with idealism is something to strive towards. It's a North Star. Maybe it won't be achieved in our lifespan or children's lifespan or grandchildren, but it's something that we can strive towards, right? And this is what opens the soul, is beauty, right? So that's what the Knight of Cups is saying here. It's like slow down and connect with that ideal. And people who know human design, if you're a 6 line, you know, the sun and the moon, the sun and the earth in your chart, if you got a 0.6, okay, on either side, this is really important for you because the 6 lines are all about the future. They have a seed already inside them of this great age of truth that's coming, and it's like a little dream, right? And it's a little seedling to be nurtured, right? And it's not, it's for far away, right? It's very future oriented. So that's beautiful. And then kind of the focus of the reading here is the Emperor. Look at that. We got the Emperor, the Empress, and the Emperor. So this is the masculine and the feminine energy. So very powerful in a reading. And the Emperor is doesn't suffer fools, right? The Emperor is all about taking, I don't want to use control, but just taking the reins, right, of your life, right? Directing that, not being so reactive to what's going on in the outside world, right? So the Emperor kind of takes charge. It's the masculine energy, but it's really got to come from here, right? The Empress is like, it's got to come from this energy. It's got to come from love. And then the Emperor acts, right? That's the correct position of the yin and the yang. The yang always responds to the yin. Okay, so this is the correct. The Emperor is the father energy too. This is the mother and the father energy. It's about reparenting yourself, being able to take care of yourself. And then I found this really interesting. These two cards just kind of flew out. So restraint, 52. This is the shadow of stress, right? And when we're out of sync with the earth, planet earth, it's an alarm clock when we feel stress. Whenever you feel stress, it's an alarm clock. I'm not connected to the earth, right? I'm not connected to the Schumann resonance of the earth. I'm feeling stress, right? But the mind wants to do something about it, right? But all you have to do is like, oh, that's an alarm clock. I'm not connected. I need to slow down. I need to slow down my breathing, right? I need to take care of myself right now. And restraint is a gift. Restraint means I'm not going to react, right? I'm just going to keep this energy inside and I'm going to take care of myself, right? The Empress and the Emperor, I'm going to take care of myself first because you're no good to anybody, right? That's what the mind said. Well, I got to do this. What about these people? I need this and then they need that. So you're not good to anybody because you're not aligned, right? So that's what this, so that's an underlying message of the reading. And then this one. Not a shocker whatsoever, because this is what the collective's going through right now. So this is the shadow of intolerance, which we can also call it racism, right? It's the gift of understanding, and it's the city of forgiveness. And please watch that video, that the last one I did. There's a very powerful moment where this church, and they divided up the people, the white parishioners, and then the people of color, the parishioners. And then the white people were asking forgiveness on behalf of their ancestors. Remember, our ancestral wounds are being come up. They're coming up cycles, right? We're in cycles. When you understand this pattern, you understand what's going on in the world, right? And this is about forgiveness. Who ushered in the Piscean Age? Jesus Christ. What was his greatest teaching? Forgiveness, right? This is what we need right now. It's desperately. We don't need more oppression, more of the same old, same old. We need understanding, and that means listening. These leaders don't get it. All these people, everybody, not just the oppressed, want to be listened to, right? Listening and understanding is standing under, right? Standing under someone else and asking them questions, right? And listening to them. And then comes forgiveness, right? Then comes forgiveness. So intolerance is a shadow that makes us fear people, especially that are different than us. They have different color, skin color. They eat different foods, so they smell different. They're different culture. That's the shadow of intolerance. And this needs to be cleared so that we can come into unity and that we're all one. Yes, we're different, right? In ways, surface ways, but deep down to our source, we're all the same. So this is the intolerance. So how you can work this is where you're intolerant with yourself, right? Always bring it back to the self. Where am I intolerant with myself right now? Where am I in division, right? What parts don't I like about myself? And you want to understand, right? Stand under, like, why do I do this? Or why don't I like that part of myself? Get inquisitive and ask yourself these questions. And this is bringing, right? Taking the reins of your life, because we're not victims, even though it looks like it on the external. And that's how the dark forces want us to believe that we have no power, but we're actually very, very powerful, right? When we claim our power. Okay. So I think the overall message really is about Earth and nature and connecting to nature is our healing. And I do that too, right? I live on Maui, and when I start to get a little bit more, my little dog Bougie always lets me know when I get too much into stress. But I'll just go outside and look at the ocean, right? And immediately I start to feel calm, and then it's like, this is what's real, right? This is what's really real right now, this moment at a time. Okay, so let's go back to me. There we go. And then we'll get ready for our really short meditation, but powerful. Okay. That's right, Angie B is 6'2". That's for you. You got the future. And as you come closer and closer to 50, I don't know how old you are, but if you have a 6 line, you start to you start to change, like radically start to change as a 6 line. Okay. Self-love. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. And remember Erica? Erica says, I'm feeling doom and gloom today. Thank you for the reminder. It's like, I want to get a tattoo of that. Like, this too shall pass. We can always count on that, right? Everything is coming and going. But there's a part of us that never changes. That's our immortal, our eternal self, our galactic self, if you want to talk about that. Okay. So people are enjoying these live streams. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so we're ready for. We got 44 people on there. I love that, 44. Okay, so this is a really easy meditation to do when you start to feel like I'm getting sucked in, right, with the news and whatever things are going on and all the fears, right? This is also like, how am I going to pay my rent and my bills? And that's all that's in all somewhere else. It's not what's real. It's like constantly bring yourself to the present moment, and you realize that you have everything you need exactly, right? I have everything that I need right now. Maybe not what my mind wants, but I have everything that I need. Okay, so people are saying they like the live stream. Yeah. Rocket Girl or Lori, looks like Lori Hill. No, the unconscious. So so you got the red side and the black side in your chart. So the red side is your unconscious. That's all your ancestry, right? And then the black side is your what you're conscious of. So you're not necessarily conscious of your 6 line in the on, but it's still impacting you. That's your vehicle, right? This is what we're coming into for the Aquarian age. It's not what we think or what we've been taught. We're actually coming more into our bodies. We're incarnate. We're not going up and out. We're going to be up in the clouds and up with the ascendant masters and this and that. We're actually coming more and more into our body. We're incarnate, right? So think of that. Someone on their deathbed, 90 years old, maybe, I don't know, 10, 20% of their consciousness incarnated in that lifetime. We're bringing in 100%, right? So we're these multi-dimensional beings. So don't listen to that, right? Nonsense. There's a lot of that. This dark energy's infiltrated the New Age community too, right? So you tune in. Don't listen to me. Like, I'm just talking gospel here. Like, really go in and you'll feel like, oh, that's true for me. Yes, he's speaking the truth right now. Yeah. Okay. And that's how we shift the frequency of the planet when we're here, right? We're here, we're present. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so this is called a meditation for a calm heart. Very, very easy, right? So you can do this anytime. So you're going to bring your right hand into Gyan Mudra. So that's your thumb and index finger touching. So this is Jupiter and the ego, right? So that's wisdom, bringing that together. And then you just put it by your arm, not your, what do you call this? Your whatever. Like you're making a pledge by by your rib cage. And then bring your left hand on your heart center like this. And then your eyes are closed, right? Eyes are closed and focused. Set your breath, like focusing at your breath, but keep your eyes at your third eye, point between your brows. And so you're going to inhale slowly through the nostrils. And then you're going to hold the breath as long as you can without getting yourself into a panic, right? Hold it as long as you can. And then when you need to exhale, then you exhale through the nostrils. And then hold the air out, suspend the air out as long as you can, right? And then you continue this breath pattern. So what this does, because really it's our mind that's our biggest obstacle, it slows down the mind. The mind can only obey one thing, plus the gong, right? If you do the gong, the mind obeys the gong too. But breath. As soon as you slow down the breath, the mind starts to slow down. So what does this do? It brings you into your natural state, which is to be in your heart, right? It's not normal for us to be like in our minds, heads on a stick. That's what I call people. They're heads on a stick. Chipmunks, they're not even in their body. They're just in their head. It's like, why do you even have a body? You don't need a body. You just need your head on a stick, right? So this brings us more into our natural self, and that's our power. Okay, so I just got busted with the time. Hey, Pentec 10. Okay. Okay, so let's start. We'll do it together, and then we'll do a nice little guided meditation after, okay? So start to do that. So breathing long and deep through the nostrils, and then holding the breath as long as you can without strain, and then exhaling the breath out when you need to, suspend it out, and then continue the cycle. And inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. And bring all your attention to your heart chakra, the center of your chest. And exhale and relax your hands down for a moment. And so close your eyes and just be with your breath. And feel yourself moving at a time, right? The energy of time, letting that go. And expanding into your timeless self, your eternal self. No effort, don't use the mind, just allow and surrender. Be very feminine. And just recognize the truth that we're seeing cycles, repeating cycles now, what we see out in the world. Right? All timelines are existing at the same moment for our evolution. So make that commitment to yourself. Stop looking at the clock to determine how you feel or if you're hungry for dinner or lunch. And refuse to be victimized by time. So begin to bless yourself with love and light, feeding your soul, nurturing your soul with love, the frequency of love. Committing to take care of yourself, being your own mother, being your own father, not looking outside of yourself for that. Having patience with yourself, having patience with others. There's no hurry, no need to stress. And that your true healing is your connection to your own mother, which is Mother Earth. That's our real mother. So committing to spend time in nature, more time in nature, and to receive that. Like, give your worries to Mother Earth, all your stresses to Mother Earth, and your fears to Mother Earth. Right? She's equipped to take them, not other people. Other people can't take them for you, but Mother Earth can. And slow down so that you can have your ear on her bosom, right? Which is to be slow down and to be aligned with the heartbeat. Like, let your heartbeat sync with hers. And it's very slow. And just feel how much love Mother Earth has for you. Right? You're her child. So just really let go of the tension in your body. Right? You're just going to start to feel it. Let that tension go. And relax. Feel every cell in your body relaxing and expanding. Now let's, as a group, bless everybody on the call, everybody that will be, or the video, everybody that will be watching this in the future. Just bless them with truth. The truth of who we really are. We're spiritual beings having human experiences. And we're at this great time of transition for a reason, for a purpose. And we don't know that until we love ourselves, love and accept ourselves first. So bless everybody with truth, right? Sagittarius is all about truth. And now you receive that blessing. Wherever you are, there's no time. So if you're listening to this in July, whatever, it still applies to you. And now let's, as a group, send this out to the world, out to the planet. The truth that we're only fighting our shadows. People are only fighting their shadows on the external. Right? We're coming more and more into unity consciousness, and this is working through the resistance. So no right or wrong, just love, right? Just sending love. And then let's bless all the sentient beings on the planet, especially our animal friends in the ocean, on the land, in the sky, have chosen to stay with us. And the mineral and the plant kingdom. And inhale deeply. And exhale. Okay. Well, thanks for joining in today. And if you enjoy these live streams, make sure to let me know, because I want to be using my energy really efficiently. Right? I enjoy them. Okay. So let's close with one long Sat Nam, because this is kind of an official Kundalini Yoga, because we did a Kundalini Yoga meditation, so we want to honor the tradition. So Sat Nam, it means truth is my identity, right? So Namaste is like I recognize the light in you is also in me. Sat Nam is like I am truth. Everything that's going to come out of my mouth is truth. That's what I strive for, right? Sat Nam. We want to be living the embodiment of truth. That's what Sat Nam is. Okay? So bring your palms together, rub them, put your hands into prayer pose, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale to close. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, everyone. Have a wonderful day and evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.